All right, so today I have been taking a request from online and I'm going to be doing some of the videos that you specifically want to see. So today to start, I'm going to start with highlighting and contouring, and this is something that can be done a lot of different ways. There are people who use liquid makeup to highlight and contour. There are people who use powders. There's people who use a combination of both. There are people who say do it based on your shape, like your face shape. Some people say to highlight and contour after you've applied certain makeup. Some say do it the first thing and then apply all your own makeup on top. So to clear up all of that confusion, because there's a lot of things that you could do, couldn't do, etc., etc. Today I wanted to show you a really basic way to get a really dramatic look, and this is going to carve out a really nice face shape, but it's going to, it's really simple and it's basic. It's not going to require a ton of extra products. We're going to use things that we have from the list that I've given you, and there might be one or two specific things, but other than that, there's nothing much else than you already have. The two things that I want to show you that I'm going to be using that are different than I have shown you in the past from that list are a large fluffy brush, which I've talked about a couple of times. This is just a large pointed face brush. You can see there it's just really big and really light, and that's going to help me blend things without putting too much product on it, etc. It's going to help me put on highlighter without making a mess. And then I've got a specific palette here that I use for highlighting and contouring, and you can use any highlight contour tools that you've got around or colors that you prefer. You can purchase them from anywhere. This is an e.l.f. Palette because I swear by them. They're super cheap and I love them. And I got it, actually a friend gave it to me. You can purchase it online right now currently. It comes with, I forget the exact name of it, I can look it up and post it under the comments of this video. But it's got a bunch of eye colors. It's like a whole face palette. It's got slide out drawers with like blushes and lips and blah blah blah. But I'm going to be using the 4 face shades that are at the bottom of this palette, and I actually took the palette apart because I don't like it all together. I don't want to use it every time, all of the things, and this is just an easier way to keep it for me. But you can see I've got, there's this shade here which is like a peachier color with some shimmer to it. This is a matte color that is really nice and dark, and that's what I'm going to be using to contour. This is a gold color that if I was doing a gold look or a really glammed up night look, I would put maybe on my collarbones, maybe in the contour section to blend a little bit, the bridge of my nose, that sort of thing. But it's really shimmery, so I don't use it a whole lot for every day. And then I've got this color here, which is really light, and it's got a little bit of yellow to it. We've talked about that before. Yellow is a really good color on everyone, but it has a little bit of shimmer to it, but it's really light, and that's going to be my highlight color. So I'm going to be using these two mainly. The important thing to remember, regardless of what color or brand you go with, you want, for this purpose, the one I'm going to show you today, I'm going to be using powders. I keep stepping on something. You're going to be using powders, as well as our concealer from the list. But the general rule for colors is you want something, if you have your foundation shade that is your typical shade or the shade that you want your face to be, you're going to want a highlighter that's about 2 to 3 shades lighter than that, and your contour color should be 2 to 3 shades darker than that. So that's a good rule of thumb, place to start. The other specialty thing I'm going to use today, which I talked about once before. This actually came with some blush I got from Clinique, but you can purchase them separately with a big long handle on them, etc., etc. But it's a really skinny, wide brush. Not a fan brush, because a fan brush is really wide and really thin. But this is going to pick up a good amount of product, but it's going to really help when we contour to get right where I want it without making a big mess. So I'm going to be using this today. Again, this is a really dramatic look. You can do it lighter, you can do it darker. This I'm going to show you is I'm going to do it darker so that you can really see today exactly what I'm doing, and then you can go from there. Okay, so I primed my face, and put on my foundation. So that's all I've got going. Actually, I ran to Publix, so that's a lie. I ran to Publix, so I do have a coat of mascara on, and I put a little bit of blush on my cheeks. That was it. Not a lot. You can tell it's kind of a really plain face because my husband was off this morning and it was like lay around in pajama day. So I don't have a whole lot of makeup on and I'm not worried about it. So this is just, for the most part, my face makeup, and I don't even have a whole lot of it on. So actually, I'm going to take, using my e.l.f. Flawless Finish, and I'm just going to add a little bit more because I really want you to be able to see how nicely this works today. So the face makeup works as a really good base to hold all of the other powders that we're going to be using today. I'm not wiping directly over my eyes this morning because I do have that single coat of mascara and I don't want black all over my face. So, all right, there we go. And you would, if you're wanting this to last for like an evening look or something, or all day, use your primer. I didn't today because, like I said, I use that when I really need my makeup to last, and today is a lay around day and I'm just showing you all some tutorials, so I'm not so worried about it. Okay, so I'm super shiny now because I don't have any powder on, and that's okay. We're going to work on that. But I've got my face makeup on. So simple, let's break this down. Highlighting and contouring, those are just really big words for light and shadows. And contour meaning shadows, highlight meaning light or brighten. And what we're going to be doing is anywhere that we highlight is going to come forward to the eye, and anything we contour or put a shadow on is going to go back to the eye. So it's about playing with your features and really making certain things stand out and certain things kind of fade into the background, and that's going to help give you some dimension in your face, and you're going to see how things kind of transform as we do this. Okay, so I'm going to take my palette and I'm going to start with the darker color first, and I'm going to use this really wide thin brush that we talked about, and I'm going to use the matte dark color here. This may be too dark for you, so don't go off of what I said. You want one, again, 2 to 3 shades lighter or darker than your skin tone. So I'm getting a good amount of product here, but I'm gonna blow off the extra so I don't have like a giant mess of looking like I got beat up. Okay, so remember, I'm gonna do this a little bit dark today so you can really see it on the camera. It does not, for some reason the lighting is not gonna be exact, so I'm gonna blend it and it's gonna look great in the mirror, even though it's gonna be really dramatic. You can, again, do this really light, or you can make it really heavy and really dramatic. Just make sure you blend your lines so that it doesn't look like you got beat up. Okay, here we go. So we've talked a little bit about the line for contouring should go, like a good rule of thumb, we're gonna be deepening. See this shadow in here? This is naturally happening on my face. There's nothing there but my face makeup, okay? And if I touch it, it goes away. But it's a shadow in my face. And that's because my cheekbone is right here. You can feel that, the heart of your cheek, and it kind of stops right there. And it's where, like, my gums begin on my teeth. You can feel that in your own face. And it's gonna be different for everybody, higher, lower, whatever. Some people have really pronounced cheekbones. Awesome. But a good rule of thumb, you can, like I said, do the fish face, which kind of helps. If you have a cheek with full, or like a fuller cheek, a face that's got fuller cheeks, that's not going to work so great. You're going to be like, I still can't find the line. Well, here's a good rule of thumb. Start at the top of your ear and draw a line to your mouth, okay, the corner of your mouth. And you can see that's exactly where mine falls. That's a good rule of thumb on anyone, because your ears and your mouth are all proportionate to your cheeks. So that's a good rule of thumb. The other thing is, when we make this line, where I first touch the brush is going to be the darkest. So I'm going to start here a little bit in the center and work my way in and out from there. But I don't want the line to be super dark and come all the way to my mouth, or I'm going to look like a puppet with, like, it'll be really bad. You want to start about the arch of your eyebrow or where the colored portion of your eye starts. So that's about where the line is going to quit on us. So here we go. I'm going to start here. I'm just going to pack the product in, and bring it up, and you can see I'm intensifying that line. See there? Now I don't want to sweep it down and I don't want to sweep it up because that will defeat the purpose of what we're doing here, the shadows we're creating. So just blend it from there, okay? Now this is really dark and dramatic, and the light in here, you're going to be able to see these lines really well, but then when I'm all done, I'll be able to back up and you'll be able to see it's not as gimmicky as it's going to look right now. All right, I'm going to do this side. Again, the top of my ear to my mouth if I drew a line, and I'm starting and stopping. I don't want it to go past the arch of my eyebrow. Okay. All right. So there's that. Now you can already see how it's carving my face out and making it appear as though my cheekbones are coming way out, and they're not. They're in the same place as they were. Just blending this a little bit. There we go. And that's where this big face brush comes in, because I can blend all of this because there's nothing on this brush. And that's softening the lines without adding or taking away too much product. Okay. Now, I'm also going to contour along my jawline, all the way to my chin. If you have a double chin, this is going to help take focus away from that. I'm going to put a little bit right here under my lip. That's going to help make your lips look fuller. Okay. You can see it makes the shadow go in, and if my lips are lighter, they come forward. I'm also going to do my temples here. Take it all the way back to my hairline. Just like that. This side. And I'm going to bring it all the way on my forehead here, like this. So you can already see my lines still are not cleaned up. We're going to blend this, don't worry. But how my face shape is changing, the look of my face shape. So let's take this big brush now. I'm not really dragging the product, I'm just spackling it a little bit like we talked about. And that's helping to soften the lines all over that I've just created. My ear is super itchy today. Okay. Now I'm also going to take some of this and drag it right here on the sides of my nose. And this side. All the way almost to my eyebrow. Like so. Okay. And then again with the brush. Okay, you can see how much my face shape has already changed. All right, from here, I'm going to take my blush now. This is my favorite blush, and using my regular old blush brush, I'm going to get quite a bit of blush on here. And I'm going to start, I'm connecting, I want to blend the contour in my blush color. See how the light is falling right here? That's where I'm going to highlight, because that's where the light would naturally bounce back off of my cheeks. So I'm just going to drag the blush between there and the contour line all the way up. There we go. Again, just kind of blending those out. Okay, on this side. There we go. Okay. Then taking my big fat fluffy brush again, I'm gonna just blend the two colors together. There we go. So that they go together. Now when I step back, you can see it's not quite as intense, but don't worry, we're gonna blend this out, don't worry. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab my concealer. Where are you? Here we go. My trusty Revlon stick that I swear by. And I'm going to put some of this on my chin, like this. Okay, some down the bridge of my nose like this. People call this the tree, but right here in the center of my forehead like that. Under my eyes, like this. Like I've told you 100 times, I really, really like doing the corner of my eyes because I think that helps brighten them. But I'm going to bring this down to an inverted triangle like this. And I don't want to come too far over because remember we put that line right there? I'm going to leave that. Okay, there we go. I'm also going to do just a tiny bit right here at my Cupid's bow. That's the name for your upper lip, like the upper lip line, because it looks like a bow from a bow and arrow. Okay, so now I'm going to use my fingers and blend all these out. Just like so. And this is the same, you know, spackling motion, the warmth of my hand is doing this, that we've talked about in the regular everyday face makeup. We're just doing this a lot more intensely because we want a dramatic face shape. All the way up into my brow bone up here. Okay, I'm bringing this down to the side of my nose here, but not on that line that we just made. And I'm blending the concealer, which is going to be the highlight, with my blush line now. You can see that, how it's starting to blend really nice. Do this side. Blend the two colors. Okay. I'm going to blend here just a little bit extra because I don't like a super sharp line at my eyebrows. Now, if you're feeling like I have a really big nose, well then don't put so much highlight on your nose because that's going to draw it towards the light and people are going to notice it more. So that's a good rule of thumb. If there's a feature you're really trying to hide, you can do so with highlight and concealer. I'm sorry, highlight and contour. We're using concealer as the highlight. Okay, so now I'm going to use my big fat brush and just blend all of the spaces where the lines meet each other. Just like that. Okay. Then I'm going to take the big fat brush again with this highlight color here. You only need a tiny little bit of this because it's super shimmery. Highlight should have some shimmer in it, by the way. And I'm just going to sweep this to set that concealer under my eyes here. And then I'm just going to use the rest of it that's left on the brush to kind of set the concealer elsewhere on my face. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to step back now and you can really see how this has changed the shape of my face. Okay, you can see certain features are brought forward, some are pushed back. I'll actually do a before and after photo at the top or bottom of this post. That way you can really see the difference in my face shape. The only thing that you need to do now before you apply your other makeup, like eyes and things, is I'm going to take my regular old bronzer and my regular bronzer brush and just add this down here, because remember we did that jawline, and that way it just kind of blends it down into your neckline so you don't have a crazy line at your neck and not, it's a different color. Does that make sense? So there's that, and I hope y'all learned something. So this is highlighting and contouring. It's basic. I do not like super severe contouring with like really thick creams and that sort of thing, but this is a really good like basic one that just about anyone can do for any special event or whatever. Again, I have a ton of makeup on now, so I probably would not wear this every day. Just running like Publix and with the kids and whatever. I would save this for like special events, New Year's Eve parties, I don't know, maybe a job interview, that sort of thing. But it's really easy, you all can do it, and I hope you'll learn something and I hope you try it. So I hope that this helps you guys. Thanks to Shannon for requesting this tutorial, and I hope that you loved it. I hope you all love it, and don't forget to comment on other topics you'd like to see to get your name entered for an extra drawing, an extra entry in the drawing for the 19th for the Becoming Brie Meets 31 party. I'm so excited about. So I'll see y'all then, and until the next tutorial, have a great day.